नमस्ते गुरुजी। जय गुरुजी महाराज। जय गुरुजी साथ संगत जी। शुक्राना गुरुजी महाराज द मल्टीलिंगुअल जूम प्लेटफॉर्म की तरफ से समस्त गुरु परिवार का अभिनंदन है। आज हमारे बीच में ब्लेस दिवा, ब्लेस संगत डॉक्टर पूजा चोपड़ा उपस्थित हैं, जो कि संगत के लिए आई हैं। आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है पूजा आंटी। ओवर टू यू।
जय गुरुजी, जय गुरुजी, शुक्राना गुरुजी, अनंतम शुक्राना महाराज, शुक्राना ये
जय गुरु,
सत्संग की घड़ियों
जय
का।
गुरु,
थैंक यू सुरेश अंकल।
जय गुरु जी। पूजा आंटी, पूजा आंटी, आज इससे पहले कि आप संगत स्टार्ट करें, आज का एक शुक्राना वचन है जो कि मैं पढ़ना चाहूंगा। आज का शुक्राना वचन है, औरत रब नू दिल तो याद करती है, आदमी अपने दिमाग तो याद करता है। महापुरुष कोल औरत ही अपने हस्बैंड नू लियांदी है, पर औरत कदे महापुरुष नहीं बन सकती। ए वुमन remembers God from her heart, whereas a man remembers God from his mind. Although it's the woman who brings her husband to a Mahapurush, but a woman can never be a Mahapurush. Pooja Aunty, can you please explain this for Guru Parivar? After that, you can proceed for your Sangat. Jai Guruji.
जय गुरुजी। बिफोर स्टार्टिंग द वचन, ओम नमो शिवाय, शिवजी सदा सहाय। ओम नमो शिवाय, गुरुजी सदा सहाय। गुरुजी महाराज, प्लीज यू ओनली ब्रिंग द वर्ड्स एंड यू ओनली स्पीक। तो जब मैंने वचन पढ़ा तो आई ऑनेस्टली डिड नॉट अंडरस्टैंड एनीथिंग। तो मैं ना ऑब्वियसली मैं अपनी आंटी के पास चली जाती हूँ, वो हमारी पुरानी संगत आंटी। आंटी मैं क्या बोलूं ये वचन का। तो आंटी सो स्वीट, यू नो, शी विल सिट एंड शी विल मेक मी अंडरस्टैंड। सो शी सेड के जो शिव और शक्ति है वो एक है, यू नो, शक्ति हैज कम फ्रॉम शिव हिमसेल्फ। तो जो महापुरुष हैं वो है हमारे गुरुजी महाराज, महाशिव, महाशक्ति, एंड फ्रॉम हिम हैज बीन born द वुमन, एंड विदाउट हर हमारी सृष्टि नहीं चल सकती। मीन्स के वी कैनॉट प्रोग्रेस टू हैव आवर lineage to keep continuing. We must have a man and a woman, but everything comes from the man, from Mahapurush, from God himself. So with only he himself has been, he is the one who has made Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. He is the one who made the creator, the preserver and the destroyer. तो उनसे ही सब बना है। और औरत क्या है कि once he made her that love, he made माँ, माँ जो माँ शक्ति है, और माँ जो है ना वो सबका सोचती है। She doesn't think about herself. She thinks about the husband, she thinks about her children, she thinks about everybody. So, you know, this is whatever I could make out for the vachan Maharaj ne jo mere andar soji dali, and thanks to auntie also who helped to sit and, you know, tell me, because मैं तो बोलती हूँ मैं नालायक हूँ, मैं कुछ नहीं हूँ, मुझे कुछ समझ नहीं आता है, लेकिन गुरुजी महाराज कोई ना कोई रास्ता बना के मुझे समझा देते हैं, कुछ ना कुछ थोड़ा थोड़ा, एंड व्हाटएवर आई कुड अंडरस्टैंड थोड़ा थोड़ा, आई थॉट लेट मी शेयर विद ऑल द संगत। Thank you, uncle. I hope it was okay. Jai Guruji.
Yes, it was in order. Jai Guruji. Please proceed, Pooja Aunty.
Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji Maharaj. So today it was like a surprise for me, because I will speak in Hindi and English. कोशिश करूंगी कि आधा हिंदी में करूं, लेकिन मेरी हिंदी इतनी अच्छी नहीं है, सुरेश अंकल को मालूम है। तो I will be switching between Hindi English. Please संगत जी bear with me. तो जब अंकल का फोन आया कि संगत करनी है, then I was like, गुरुजी महाराज आप कैसे अपनी ब्लेसिंग दे देते हो। और संगत जी सबसे बड़ी चीज which I feel in our life for what I have understood is कि जब आपको कोई भी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है, like any small opportunity to do any small सेवा, please never say no, because these are Guruji Maharaj's blessings. और वो किस वजह से आती है, क्यों आती है, किस लिए आती है, वो ही जानते हैं, क्योंकि अब महाराज ना सब संगत में बसते हैं। जब मैं सुरेश अंकल को देखती हूँ तो मुझे उनमें भी वही लगता है कि महाराज बोल रहे हैं। उनका उनके मीन्स गुरुजी महाराज का इतना शुक्राना है कि दिस ब्यूटीफुल प्लेटफॉर्म विच अंकल स्टार्टेड, आई थिंक ड्यूरिंग पैंडेमिक, and I think within a few months Guruji Maharaj connected me with uncle, and since then, you know, we like it's like a family, you know. शुक्राना गुरुजी महाराज का मल्टीलिंगुअल जो ग्रुप है वो एक परिवार बन गया है। और उसमें जब भी एक भी छोटी सेवा करने को मिलती है ना, तो अंकल नोस, अनलेस एंड अनटिल आई हैव ड्यूटी आई विल नॉट से नो टू हिम, क्योंकि मुझे ऐसे लगता है गुरुजी कोई ना कोई ब्लेसिंग दे रहे हैं। एंड whatever he is doing, I mean, मैं तो I will tell कि गुरुजी महाराज ने मुझे उस 1% सेवा के लिए रखा हुआ है, लेकिन जो अंकल करते हैं वो बाकी 99.9% सेवा, that I say गुरुजी महाराज please bless uncle, give him the strength and you know the thing to keep doing it, because वो इतनी संगत को ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड हेल्प कर रहे हैं, इतने लैंग्वेजेस में इतनी चीजें कन्वर्ट किया अंकल ने नहीं, मैं बोलूंगी गुरुजी ने किए हैं, लेकिन थ्रू अंकल। एंड टू ऑर्गेनाइज दिस इट इज सो डिफिकल्ट, बट हमारे जो सुरेश अंकल है ना, वो ही डज इट, एंड बिलीव मी, एंड इफ देयर आर मेनी, I'm sure Purani Sangat here, new Sangat here who are connected with Suresh Uncle, they will all say that they can never ever refuse Suresh Uncle. If he once calls you and he speaks to you, within 5 minutes you will melt like Guruji is telling you, and you will say, yes, yes, Uncle, we will do. So this is like the beginning. I really wanted to say Shukrana to Guruji and Shukrana to the Shukrana Guruji Maharaj multilingual platform and all the sevadars. You know, I mean, there are so many people who are working behind the scenes, Sangatji. You will not believe it. If I take the names, they might get angry because wo hamesha they want to just do gupt seva all the time. But I'm sorry, Guruji. I'm sorry, Sangatji, but I must take all of their names because they are so hardworking and they're so wonderful right now. Like Nimesh uncle is doing the hosting right now, and Ekta auntie and Snigdha auntie and Anil Arora uncle, Angel Arora auntie, and all, I mean, there are so many. I mean, all the names, if I start taking, I have all of them in my mind, but I might not remember all of them right now from this thing. I mean, thousands. Sudipto uncle, he was there and he keeps coming. And there are like so many Sangat who are doing behind the scene, who will never come in front, but वो इतना सेवा करते हैं, इतनी सेवा करते हैं. आप कभी भी एक moment of a drop of a pin, uncle या मैं या कोई भी बोलेंगे ना, auntie uncle ये कर दो, they don't hesitate for a second to just say हाँ जी we will do, you know. So Guruji, Shukrana for this parivar, Shukrana that everybody comes forward. There is nobody who ever says कि नहीं मैं ये नहीं करूँगा, you know. सब इतने नीवे हैं, इतने प्यारे हैं, इतने अच्छे हैं. And I'm sorry if I'm forgetting anybody's name right now, but I will take your name afterwards at the end. Just you know, मैं थोड़ा सा डॉक्टर होके ना इतना कुछ दिमाग में रहता है कि मेरे नाम कभी कभी स्लिप हो जाते हैं, so please forgive me for that. But this is blessings for all who are always in the back, but they're always in the front line and they're always doing. Yeah, Amandeep uncle, wo bhi, I mean, you will not know them, but they're there. And सबसे बड़ा शुक्राना, sorry uncle, I'm telling all these things, but you know, वो मेरे अंदर गुरुजी ये बुलवा रहे हैं, you know. You know, Deepti auntie and so many Sangat are there. वो कभी भी सामने नहीं आते हैं, लेकिन उनकी सेवा महाराज जानते हैं. तो शुक्राना अनंतम शुक्राना for all of them. And सबसे बड़ा शुक्राना महाराज का है. सेकंड मैं सुरेश अंकल का क्यों कहूंगी, क्योंकि वो हर एक जैसी रोज to do this seva of Zoom, it is such a difficult thing, but how Maharaj gives him this soji to manage this, and along with that to do the Shiv Puran seva, and not in one language, in multiple language, and light of divinity. अगर आप इसका फेसबुक पेज खोलोगे तो आप देखोगे कि इट इज नॉट वन थिंग, इतनी रोज 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 संगत, देयर इज अ रीडिंग गोइंग ऑन। तो ये सोचो, टू ऑर्गेनाइज समथिंग लाइक दिस, गुरुजी ने क्या कैसे वो सब साथ में रखा हुआ है। दिस इज सच अ बिग बिग ब्लेसिंग। मैं बस I cannot say thank you, शुक्राना 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 more to Guruji, के thank you for doing this. We have यहाँ पे एक Assamese Sangat auntie who also does the reading in Shiv Puran, and one day I don't know her and I was attending a physical satsang and she got up and she was saying शुक्राना, कि मेरा मन कर रहा था कि मैं शुरू करूं reading of Shiv Puran, and how this came and I started reading the Shiv Puran in Assamese, मीन्स कि हर एक के लिए ये एक सत्संग बन गया है। तो ये तो शुक्राना शुक्राना है महाराज का कि दिस ब्यूटिफुल ब्यूटिफुल प्लेटफॉर्म इज देयर, and all the Purani Sangat who come, why I know that there is no difference between Purani and नहीं, लेकिन जब आप सत्संग करते हो हमको बहुत सारे मैसेजेस मिल जाते हैं जो हम जान नहीं पाएंगे unless and until you share with us. So आपका शुक्राना that you come forward. We have learned we have learned maybe 1%, but at least we have learned that thanks to you, and we still have so much to learn. क्योंकि मैं तो बोलती हूँ गुरुजी आपके चरण की धूल के भी लायक नहीं हूँ मैं, इतनी स्टूपिड लड़की हूँ मैं, लेकिन आप हमेशा एक्सेप्ट कर लेते हो स्टूपिड लड़की को, सो थैंक यू फॉर दैट। अब जब मेरा शुक्राना थोड़ा सा वो हो गया तो आई विल स्टार्ट माई जर्नी। the year, actually I will tell you the first time, क्योंकि मैं हमेशा ये शुरू करती हूँ कि मेरा बेटा ऑटिस्टिक है, my second son is autistic, and that's how first time I started coming for the satsang. But it was like what I feel is when it was maybe 2010 or 2011, one of the Purani Sangat auntie who is here, she fell down and she had broken her nose, and she came to my OPD to show herself. And I feel कि वो first time था कि गुरुजी ने probably इस डम लड़की पे थोड़ी नजर लगा दी थी, क्योंकि वो आंटी बहुत blessed है। गुरु I feel she is like aura, गुरुजी की aura है उनके ऊपर। तो आई फील दैट वाज द फर्स्ट डे उन्होंने probably मेरे ऊपर नजर रखी थी कि ये लड़की है। लेकिन गुरुजी बोलते थे कि वो पूछते थे कि वो वर्मा आंटी का सत्संग सुना कि वो कच्चा है या पक्का है। आई फील आई वाज वेरी कच्चा, सो आई वाज नॉट रेडी, बट एटलीस्ट we got like a spark started with Guruji. And I think in 2013 or 14, jab my son was in a very bad condition and I was very depressed, कि जब माँ को पता चलता है कि उसका बेटा ऑटिस्टिक है and he's not talking, he's very hyper, काफी you're not in your senses anymore. So my brother-in-law and my co-sister, they had already started going to Guruji Maharaj at Satsang. So they said, why don't you join us once? So मैं एक बार ही गई. The first time when I went, I got Guruji Maharaj's Swaroop from the same auntie. And everybody was like, wow, you got a Swaroop? उस time मुझे significance उसका नहीं मालूम था. Very, very sorry, Maharaj. And I went home with Guruji Maharaj's Swaroop. I mean, he came and I didn't know the importance, the significance of this. And today I'm so grateful for it. After that incident, again, I was not getting connected. Ek aur saal gaya, then there was another satsang and they said, okay, come. I said it was like maybe Guruji Maharaj's birthday or Shivratri, I'm not sure. तो मैं फिर से गई, लेकिन फिर से वही हुआ कि मैं गई लेकिन मेरा कनेक्शन नहीं हुआ. लेकिन इट इज माय बैड थॉट्स, मेरे बुरे कर्म, एंड मे बी आई वाज स्टिल सो कच्चा दैट गुरुजी फेल्ट लाइक इट्स नॉट माय टाइम. And after that 3 years in my hospital, I had a very terrible time. Means इतना खराब टाइम आ गया मेरा कि मैं दिन रात ड्यूटी करती थी, सोती नहीं थी, उठने का टाइम नहीं, सोने का टाइम नहीं. I was every day I used to cry, But you'll not believe, Sangat ji, even during that time, जब मेरी शाम की ड्यूटी होती थी, now you think this time I don't know anything about Guruji Maharaj, I'm not connected. बट ये महाराज की क्या उस टाइम की सोची थी कि जो हमारे यहाँ पे जो भी पोर्टर्स क्लीनर्स वो थे, तो शाम के टाइम गुरुजी यूज्ड टू मेक मी टेक समोसास फॉर देम एंड आई वुड जस्ट गो एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूट देम। कि मेरे अंदर ऐसे आता था कि मेरे कुछ बहुत बुरे कर्म है महाराज, कुछ तो मुझे करना चाहिए, हाउ कैन आई डू इट। एंड शाम को सोची थी कि वो लोग भूखे बैठे होंगे एंड यू नो इट्स इवनिंग टाइम, दे मस्ट बी हंग्री एंड आउट ऑफ ऑल द स्नैक्स विच आर अवेलेबल, पता नहीं क्यों समोसा ही मुझसे पैक होके वहां पे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट। इवेंचुअली वहां पे मेरे को समोसा डॉक्टर बुलाते हैं, दे डोंट नो माय रियल नेम। तो वो भी जय गुरु जी, शुक्राना गुरु जी। आफ्टर 3 years ऑफ टॉर्चर, वन नाइट जो मेरी नाइट ड्यूटी थी, वी कैन नॉट गेट अप, वी मस्ट सिट इन द चेयर एंड सी पेशेंट्स, लाइक यू कैन नॉट गेट अप फ्रॉम दैट चेयर होल नाइट। तो मैं बैठी हुई थी, आई डोंट नो व्हाई, आई जस्ट ओपन माय मोबाइल, ओपन फेसबुक एंड आई सॉ यू नो गुरु जी का एक स्वरूप एंड आई डोंट नो व्हाट मेड मी फील, आई जस्ट सेड, आई रोट जय गुरु जी एंड उसके 2 मिनट के बाद फिर से गुरु जी का दूसरा स्वरूप आ गया, अगेन आई रोट जय गुरु जी एंड यू नो एंड दिस केप्ट ऑन गोइंग होल नाइट विद मी। I was just writing Jai Guruji, and the more I was writing, I felt like writing more, and the more Guruji Maharaj's Swaroop kept on coming. Like this, the whole night passed, and suddenly in the morning, there is one Swaroop of Guruji Maharaj, which everybody calls the rock star Swaroop. It was written, Kalyan Kitta Ja Ashkar, and I felt like Guruji's, you know, talking to me, and he's telling me, you know, Kalyan Kitta Ja Ashkar, you know. I could hear him. This was the first time, that was the first connection I had with Guruji. And he guided me. Okay, abhi satsang to maybe बहुत हो रहे होंगे, लेकिन he guided me only to call that auntie, जो हमारी पुरानी संगत आंटी, and ask her for the satsang. तो मैंने आंटी को फोन किया and I said, auntie, I don't know why, because the first time she had come to me as a patient, तो मेरे पास उनका नंबर था। तो I said, auntie, I want to come for satsang, is it okay? Anyways, whatever happened, long story short, I went for the satsang, and the time when I entered the darbar, the shabad which was going on was Jithe meher teri uthe sada khushiyan. So I won't forget it. You'll never forget the first shabad you're connected to. So you know, I just sat and I was listening, and the shabad obviously says with this you know, the person who was like a chore, and how he changed once listening to the shabads, and he became so pious, he returned the cow, and he started connecting everybody else. You know, I didn't know that Guruji is like, you know, showing me, and I felt like, huh, maybe like, you know, I'm that chore and Guruji has accepted me, and those shabads which he's making me hear is like for me only. And the second time I told auntie फिर से, you know, एक बार ही जाओ ना महाराज से, like how everybody said, एक बार ही जाओ। तो ऐसे जब connection, you know, when you're connected, you just feel like going again and again. लालच सी आ जाती है कि जाओ, वापस जाओ, वापस जाओ। And auntie calls like very limited crowd, which I didn't know about, but I like, you know, उस time हिम्मत आ जाती है, महाराज दे देते हैं। I said, auntie, can I come next week also, please? You know, तो she said, okay, आ जाओ। And that day, उस दिन लंगर प्रसाद था, जल प्रसाद था, and auntie always used to give दूध जलेबी प्रसाद। I mean, इतना सब, you know, at one time खाने की आदत नहीं थी मुझे, but after having everything, इतना सा जल प्रसाद बच गया था। तो auntie is like, finish this up. I'm like, auntie, मैं तो no, यहाँ पे सब कुछ खत्म करके जाना है। Which is like, you know, when you are doing any satsang, I feel how auntie is, everybody should be like that. अगर हम लोग जो नई संगत हैं उनको रास्ता नहीं दिखाएंगे, they will never know. And these are Guruji's blessings and his hukum. So I am so grateful to her that she told me this, because this is my inner poison which she was removing through Guruji. I mean, Guruji Maharaj was removing through her. So I drank the whole Jal Prasad, and when I went out, I vomited it all out. And next day, I went to my boss. Immediately after all this poison was removed, I felt. And I don't know how, जो मैं 3 साल से उनसे बात करने की कोशिश कर रही थी, and he was just not letting me in, how within those 5 minutes, he let me meet him. and I just kept on saying Jai Guruji, Jai Guruji, Jai Guruji, and whatever Guruji was telling me to say, I was just saying that to him, and he was like, I've been waiting for you for last 1 year, you know. And I was like, Jai Guruji, Jai Guruji, like in my mind I'm just saying that, and immediately जैसे गुरुजी महाराज ने मुझे दिखाया था कल्याण कितना जा ऐश कर, he changed me to a place where, you know, it was so nice. There was not that much difficult duty. It was peaceful. I had like so much of peace after that that I cannot tell you, you know, it. I am so grateful to Guruji Maharaj for that moment, you know, the moment he accepted me and the moment he changed uh, my life. And that is obviously just वो एक शुरुआत होती है, वो तो एक शुरुआत थी कि गुरुजी ने बस उस टाइम पे बस वो हाथ पकड़ा था, उसके बाद तो एक इतनी ब्यूटीफुल जर्नी महाराज के साथ शुरू हो गई कि इट वाज इवन I know that my autistic son today also, he is not like, he's still bad and he has many issues still, and he beats himself and he cries, but Guruji Maharaj has given me so much of inner strength. He's given me so much of inner strength to you know, to hold him and to accept him and to understand that even though he's going through all this, this is my karma and his karma, and we have to, you know, bear it out. So Guru, I don't know why I'm telling this. It's just basically you know, it's that आपके जो भी काम है, ये मत सोचना आप आ गए हो तो मीन सब कुछ हो गया. नो, we have our karma which we've come with, and don't think that everything is going to be a bed of roses. You're going to keep feeling those thorns, but those are a part of our karma, which Guruji is now going to give us strength to go through, because that's all that, you know, we can do. This is what we have done, he has done. I don't know, वो तो सिर्फ महाराज जानते हैं. लेकिन कभी भी एक मिनट के लिए भी don't ever leave him and keep saying sorry to him. बख्श दो, मेहर करो महाराज, हमसे रोज 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 गलतियां होती रहती हैं, but just, you know, keep us in your sharan. Don't leave us. So now once the connection started, अभी रोज रोज तो you know, I cannot go there for satsang. आंटी को इतना भी मैं वो नहीं कर सकती थी, लेकिन जो संगत बाहर करते थे सत्संग अपने अपने घर में, तो आई यूज टू यू नो हैव दिस कि कोई मुझे बुला ले कोई, क्योंकि पहली बार कनेक्ट होते हैं ना, किसी को जान पहचान नहीं होती है. तो यहाँ पे एक संगत आंटी है, शी वाज द ओनली वन, शी टोल्ड कि पूजा, अगर तुम्हारी ड्यूटी सैटरडे को नहीं हुई तो यू कम एवरी सैटरडे to because we are doing every Saturday sangat at our place. And they are such a blessed couple. I always call them Ram and Sita, because I say that they're so wonderful, कि such a bad horrible person को also they accepted in their house, and they would call me every Saturday. And despite कि मैं उनको जानती नहीं हूँ, लेकिन उन्होंने मुझे अपना परिवार बना लिया, तो उनका मीन्स उनका भी अनंतम शुक्राना. So every Saturday I would get a chance to go, and believe me, I've heard, you know, when we used to sit there, the satsangs which were told, means they were like so wonderful, so beautiful. Each step Guruji kept on bringing me closer and closer to him. After that, my son came. He, you know, he stays now in India in autism shelter, but every 6 months he has holidays. We have to bring him home for a month. तो वो महीना when he came, he was in a very bad state. रात भर वो अपने आप को मारता था. तो माँ तो बैठेगी ना उस बेटे के साथ, तो I would just keep holding him कि वो ना अपने आप को मारे नहीं. तो ऐसे 3-4 कभी बज जाते थे, और मुझे मेरी ड्यूटी सुबह 6 बजे शुरू हो जाती थी. तो I would just get like 2 hours or 3 hours of sleep. और जब ये चल रहा था in the mind, you know, Guruji is telling me, I'm putting a bubble around you, I'm putting a bubble around you. तो मुझे समझ नहीं आया कि गुरुजी क्यों बार बार मेरे अंदर ये आप डाले जा रहे हो, bubble around you. And one day when he slept so late and I was so, you know, ये क्या होता है ना, physical mental सब tired हो जाते हैं उस time. और फिर 6 बजे मुझे हॉस्पिटल जाना था, and while driving, और हॉस्पिटल बहुत quite far, it is like half an hour या 40 minutes तो लगते हैं. While driving on the way I slept. I don't know when I slept, क्योंकि मुझे कुछ होश नहीं है. It is like that part of my mind is complete, like zero, blank, you know. And when I woke up, all I saw myself is rotating in the car. जैसे वो फिल्मों में देखते हैं ना कि the car is going round and round. The window in front is completely shattered. I don't know what's happening. Anyways, पता नहीं थोड़ा होश आया तो मैंने साइड पे गाड़ी को रखा, और वो भी गुरुजी ने ऐसा किया कि देयर वाज वन साइड वेयर देयर वाज कंस्ट्रक्शन गोइंग ऑन, तो वहां पे वो बोल्डर से लेफ्ट साइड वाज द हाईवे. तो मींस इफ आई वुड हैव गॉन अ लिटिल लेफ्ट, आई एम ऑन द हाईवे एंड आई एम नो मोर, जय गुरुजी. But he put me on the right side, and I don't know how the boulder got stuck, and because of that the car went round and round. It is Guruji only. He put the boulder, he made it stop. When I parked the car, I got down, the car was totaled. Means you can say कि side से crush है, back and front से crush है, tires are burst, but मुझे एक scratch नहीं आया, एक scratch नहीं संगत जी. So I was like, Guruji, you put a bubble around me. You know, I finally understood the bubble. कि मुझे कुछ नहीं हुआ. And the best part is I didn't hit any car in front or behind कि कोई police case भी बने. It was just that it kept on hitting the boulders, so it was crushed by all of them. Anyways, वो पार किया, और मैं जय गुरु जी, आई एम शेकिंग, बट आई नो के यू नो आई हैव टू गो टू वर्क नाउ. तो जय गुरु जी करते करते मैंने एक आदमी को ऐसे ऐसे हाथ दिया. ही इज नॉट सेम नेशनैलिटी. वो मेरी बात मीन्स वो मेरी लैंग्वेज भी नहीं समझता है, जो मेरी टूटी फूटी लैंग्वेज जो मैं जानती हूँ. मैंने उससे बोला कि प्लीज मुझे हॉस्पिटल जाना है, कैन यू ड्रॉप मी ना, गुरु महाराज का नाम लेके. एंड ही वाज वेरी काइंड. ही सेड जस्ट उसको कुछ मेडिसिन चाहिए थे, ऐसे नो प्रॉब्लम, आई विल गिव यू व्हाटएवर यू वांट, जस्ट ड्रॉप मी देयर. And he dropped me on time and I attended my duty. And the guy who came to take the car was like, he thought कि कुछ टायर पंक्चर हो गया है. तो when he's like, आप जिंदा कैसे हो, you know, like that was his reaction. How are you alive? And he's saying the number plate was like 1 kilometer away, and how are you alive? Like, you know, I told him this is all my Guruji Maharaj. Shukrana, Shukrana, Anantam, Shukrana Maharaj for sparing this Nachi, this stupid girl ki life. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Then after that, my son, he went back, and I think वो पैंडेमिक शुरू हो गया. तो जब पैंडेमिक शुरू हुआ उससे थोड़ी पहले, आई विल टेल यू कि द गर्ल हु वर्क्स विद मी, शी इज अ श्रीलंकन. वो धीरे धीरे शी गॉट कनेक्टेड टू गुरुजी महाराज. यू नो, शी सॉ एवरीडे शब्द चल रहे हैं एंड ऑल. तो एक दिन, व्हाई आई एम शेयरिंग इज बिकॉज उसके सत्संग में एक थोड़ा सा मैसेज है, तो it's a beautiful message. So one day I used to, you know, wear a nose ring which is diamond and gold. तो वो गुम गई थी, इतनी छोटी सी होती है ना. तो I told her, please you search for it, I don't know where it is. And she's saying, you know, I went and I just told Guruji, please help me find it. And I just looked down and I found the nose ring. So, you know, that built that faith. She got connected at that moment. And a year passed and she's connected to Maharaj now. And pandemic is coming. Somehow यहाँ पे जो visa बनता है and all that, it was getting delayed for her. She wanted to travel in March beginning and Feb end, but वो हो नहीं रहा था. कुछ ना कुछ हो रहा था कि वो डिले हो रहा था, टिकट नहीं मिल रही थी. तो एक दिन जब उसकी टिकट कैंसिल हो गई, उसी दिन घर पे महाराज ने सत्संग रखा हुआ था. तो सत्संग पे तो ऑब्वियसली वी आर डूइंग सेवा. She is always helping with the seva. That day, because her ticket was cancelled, she refused to get up from the chair. She said, I will not do anything. Why my ticket is cancelled? And she started crying. And I told her, please don't do like this. This is not good. I cannot force you for seva. I will do. If you cannot, you sit, I will do. तो जो भी मेरे से वो उस टाइम गुरुजी महाराज ने करवा दी सारी सेवा, सत्संग अच्छे से हो गया. बट शी डिड नॉट गेट अप फ्रॉम द चेयर एंड क्राइंग एंड यू नो टेलिंग कि मुझे कुछ नहीं करना है, मैं कोई सेवा नहीं करूंगी. विच आई टोल्ड हर वाज, प्लीज डोंट डू लाइक दिस. आई मीन, डोंट चैलेंज आवर महाराज लाइक दिस. She didn't listen. And she got the ticket, like our airports were closed on 13th March at 12 o'clock. And on 12th March, 5 p.m. was her last flight from here to Sri Lanka. And after that, she could not come back for 2 years. Jai Guruji. She every day she sent message and she cried, why I did this, please, I'm sorry to Guruji, please. तो ये क्या मैसेज है कि मांगो नहीं मनो, यू नो, जस्ट नो कि अगर महाराज आपकी चीजें डिले कर रहे हैं या आपका नहीं करवा रहे हैं, आपका कुछ वीजा या whatever the things, like your tickets get delayed, your things get delayed, it is not you, it is Maharaj. You are under his sharan now, so why don't you just trust him that he's doing this for your good? And because of that, she lost all her money, and you know, she had to take so many loans and all that. So she cried every day. I said कि, you know, I'm not saying anything कि गुरुजी महाराज का है, कभी भी सेवा रिफ्यूज मत करो. आपको एक छोटी भी सेवा मिले ना, कोई बोले कि ये यू नो ये प्लेट है चाकवा, वो जाके फेंक दो, वो भी एक सेवा हो जाती है आपकी, वो भी आप रिफ्यूज मत करो. वो आप शुक्राना करो गुरुजी का कि you're getting a chance to do this seva also, because you don't know what blessing you might even get with that small seva. So the thing which Guruji Maharaj is, you know, little, वैसे मैं बोल रही हूँ ना कि मैं stupid बहुत हूँ, लेकिन थोड़ा थोड़ा जो मुझे सिखाया गुरुजी ने कि इतनी सी भी सेवा मिले उसे कभी रिफ्यूज मत करो, कभी उसको वो मत करो, और कभी डिमांड्स मत करो, कभी मांगो मत. Just believe in him, मानो, just keep believing in him, he is the one. And as days were started passing, Guruji Maharaj's satsang started on Zoom, which was started by the you know Guruji Ashram. जो first second batch जब शुरू हुआ तभी गुरुजी ने connect करवा दिया, and every day we could listen to satsang. And the same way Guruji, you know, Saturday को that auntie had she used to call every Saturday. और मुझे सबसे ज्यादा दुख ड्यूरिंग पैंडेमिक था कि मैं आंटी के घर जाके सत्संग अटेंड नहीं कर पा रही हूँ, एंड दैट वाज मेकिंग मी फील रियली बैड. आई सेड कि क्या महाराज, मैं यू नो आई यूज्ड टू गेट दीस ब्लेसिंग्स एवरी सैटरडे, नाउ वो नहीं हो रहा है. तो वो जूम से यू नो मुझे महाराज ने सोची दी कि सैटरडे को सैटरडे व्हाई डोंट यू स्टार्ट द सत्संग ऑन जूम सो दैट एटलीस्ट यू कैन सी द दरबार एंड अटेंड विद हर. And that's how Zoom ka platform started. Every Saturday we started doing this satsangs in the evening with auntie. Eventually, you know, it was progressing, was going very well. One day, while I was walking, Guruji gave soji कि you have to do satsang every night. रोज तेरे को सत्संग करना है. Like you have to do satsang every night. So I was like, you know, when you start getting messages, you're not sure. You doubt yourself a lot because you don't know you're hearing the right thing or what not. And Guruji is telling कि you know, in English, not in Hindi or Punjabi, that even if you have to sit with yourself, you do every single day Zoom satsang. So like, you know, I said कि अगर मैसेज आ रहा है कुछ तो है. So that was the way how that जो एक टाइमिंग भी गुरुजी ने वो मेरे को आंटी से, जैसे आई टोल्ड वो हमारी पुरानी संगत आंटी है, उनके साथ डिस्कस किया कि आंटी कौन सा टाइम अच्छा होगा. एंड देन शी सेड कि रात को जो इवन यंग संगत है वो ऐसे ही टाइम पास कर देते हैं, यू नो, पीपल विल वॉच टीवी. अगर रोज सत्संग होगा तो एटलीस्ट दे विल do something good. They'll connect to the platform, they will start listening to shabads, so do it every night. तो रोज रात को हमारे टाइम को around 10 p.m. 10:30 we started the satsang, which is 1 a.m. in India. And this, you know, it just started off. And गुरुजी महाराज की इतनी कृपा है, अभी 2 साल महाराज रोज रात को कैसे करवाते हैं, I don't know. Believe me संगत जी, इसमें मेरा भी 1% नहीं है, इसमें कुछ भी. Everything he does, everything. I even if I have duty, the day I have duty on calls and I'm busy with patient, he will tell कि ऐसे ऐसे कर, you know, इसको बोल ये कर दे, या इसको सेवा दे दे, या ये वो कर दे. Like it's not me, it's him doing everything. And I know that if I will even do 1%, even 0.01%, I will say कि आए, वो उसी दिन खत्म, उसी दिन सब कुछ खत्म. क्योंकि जब आपके अंदर वो एक 0.1% भी आ जाता है ना कि मैं आपको डिस्ट्रॉय कर देता. तो रोज आई जस्ट से शुक्राना टू गुरुजी, बिकॉज तू ही, यू आर द वन डूइंग एवरीथिंग गुरुजी. Even the Shabad, sometimes when I'm not putting the Shabad, he selects, he puts, he's the one doing everything. And it is a learning thing. He will show me, he make me hear satsangs, and people who will tell ke ye dalna chahiye, ye nahi dalna chahiye. We accept, because we tell these are messages from Maharaj. But jo bhi dalta hai, wo unki marzi se dalta hai. There is nothing which I can say Pooja is putting these Shabads. It's him putting, because whenever I put it on, like I'll also tell you the significance when he said कि even if you have to sit with yourself, तो जब हम लोग लॉग इन करते हैं तो अकाउंट से लॉग इन होता है, तो वो नाम से लॉग इन होता है. उसके बाद व्हेन आई वांट टू जस्ट मेक श्योर कि साउंड चल रहा है, आई पुट इट ऑन माय मोबाइल. तो मेरा नाम 2 बार आ रहा था, एक फर्स्ट टाइम फ्रॉम द लैपटॉप, सेकंड. सो आई अंडरस्टूड, ओ गुरुजी, दिस इज व्हाट यू मेंट, कि इवन इफ यू हैव टू सिट विद योरसेल्फ, यू मस्ट do the satsang every day, you must listen to shabads every day. So this is how he started off in the night, and he puts these shabads. And sometimes when somebody says कि ये शब्द वो शब्द नहीं, तो मैं बोलती हूँ कि मुझे नहीं मालूम कि मैं क्या डाल रही हूँ, मेरे माइंड में नहीं है, मैं तो डाल ही नहीं रही हूँ, वो ही डाल रहे हैं. तो मैं माफी मांगती हूँ टू एनीबडी अगर कभी भी ये गलत कुछ लग जाए. ये रियली आई हैव नो आइडिया क्या चल रहा होता है. मैं भी फर्स्ट टाइम सुन रही होती हूँ, महाराज फर्स्ट टाइम सुना रहे होते हैं. Just like everybody else, I'm sitting as a sangat and listening to all the shabads and doing the satsang, because it's his satsang. Everything is him, him, him. There is nothing me in it. Then going on, now every night these satsangs are going on, and around I think November end, one request came कि yoga is starting by Sadhguruji, the one who's in I think US. So he's doing yoga and this much amount. So मैं generally I don't do yoga and all that. I'm not an exercise buff. So I just पता नहीं क्यों मन किया कि चलो ये वाला योगा ज्वाइन कर लेते हैं, कोई बात नहीं, पैंडेमिक चल रहा है, थोड़ी बहुत एक्सरसाइज हो जाएगी. So I just joined it, and it was supposed to be for 10 days, and it was supposed to start on a particular day. हमारा in the hospital हमारा काम शुरू हो गया था already. Our OPDs were on, everything, and despite wearing 2 masks, shield, सब कुछ, you can think everything under the sun, हम लोग एस्ट्रोनॉट जैसे पूरी covered रहते थे. लेकिन तब भी I got COVID from I know it was from one of my clinics, because immediately after that I started getting the symptom. So when I tested, when it came positive, and the next day I was in quarantine, you will not believe the yoga started on the first day of my quarantine till those 10 days. And they were all breathing exercises. Guruji had planned this thing for me. From the first day, I could do breathing exercise for 10 days, yoga every hour. During my, I was having a lot of symptoms also, breathless and all that. And it was all kept well maintained because of that. In between, क्योंकि हम इंसान हैं, and like I said, I'm very, very dumb. Sorry, Guruji. So whenever I get some pain, I land up taking a lot of painkillers, so I had taken 1 or 2 painkillers, and immediately, because now we know कि अगर आप कोई भी, and believe me, if anybody was positive or any time is positive, I hope nobody is ever, NSAIDs जो painkillers है उसको ध्यान से लेना, क्योंकि they are interfering, they will attack your heart muscles. So immediately I started feeling a sinking feeling कि कुछ तो मेरे साथ हो रहा है. Now I had the pulse oximeter. जब मैंने पल्स ऑक्सीमीटर देखा तो मेरी पल्स रेट 220 हो गई. And I was like, मैं तो जाने वाली हूँ, I will go, like tonight is my last night. And that time night satsang is going on Zoom, which the hosting thing is going on. तो मैं सोच रही हूँ कि मैं तो I'm about to die. Who's going to take care of the satsang? What's going to happen? Immediately मैंने एक संगत आंटी जो यहाँ रहती है उनको मैसेज किया कि I'm not well, please take over co-hosting, क्योंकि सेवा नहीं, कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं होनी चाहिए, मेरे साथ जो हो no problem. and I called the EMS, the emergency medical service. My husband was not in town during my COVID time. He was in India. Nobody was at home. It was only me and my younger one, and the one caretaker girl, God bless her, Guruji bless her. And she was there with me throughout to help me during the pandemic. And वो जब ऐसा हो गया, मैंने अपनी फ्रेंड को फोन किया. हर हस्बैंड इज अ कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट, सो आई टोल्ड हिम कि आई एम डाइंग, आई एम सिंकिंग, प्लीज टेल मी व्हाट टू डू. So the first thing they told me is कि raise your legs. So as soon as you feel this kind of a palpitation, raise your leg. That means कि put pillow under your legs and raise your leg and start massaging your neck. We are giving a carotid massage. So I started doing that. I felt little better, but तब भी मेरे को बहुत like I was like, even after 5 minutes I was like I was sinking. So I kept on telling my friend, I'm sinking, I'm dying. Anyways, I closed the phone. Then सब कुछ बंद कर दिया ना, अभी कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट को फोन कर दिया, फ्रेंड को फोन कर दिया, EMS को फोन कर दिया, सब पूरी दुनिया को फोन कर दिया. लास्ट में, गुरुजी, आई एम कमिंग टू योर शरण. आप चाहते हो ना कि मैं आपकी शरण में आ जाऊं, आप ले लो मुझे, मैं रेडी हूँ, आप ले लो, बस आपकी सेवा ठीक से होती रहे यहाँ पे, बट यू टेक मी. द मिनट आई सेड दिस, my pulse rate became 77. I swear, Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji. I don't know how Guruji does this. The minute I put it on him, he just made my pulse rate normal. That ghabrat wali feeling sab chali gayi. And the first thing I said, Guruji, you don't want me or what? Like, sorry, Sangaji, but this is what I felt like, ki, Guruji, you don't want me or what? Ki, why did you send me back like that? Anyways, this is all his grace. Shukrana for him for for blessing me again alive. And after that, again during pandemic, this is a satsang of my dad. My father was not keeping well. He there in Hyderabad, my mom and dad, and वो ना, he used to keep complaining कि मेरी ना itching हो रही है स्किन में, बहुत itching हो रही है. तो we were like, अच्छा ये डर्मेटोलॉजिस्ट को दिखा दो, इसको दिखा दो, वो कर लो, ये करो. अभी इधर मैं यहाँ पे हूँ, वो वहां पे है, मैं उनको देख भी नहीं पा रही हूँ. तो I'm just giving whatever, like put this cream, talk to this dermatologist, but it was not becoming okay. So one day my mom, she took Guruji Maharaj's Swarup, and she kept from Bade Mandir. She got one small, my Masi gave her. She put it and she took my dad to the hospital. Okay, even if pandemic is going on, dikhana to hai. Now they've gone to a private hospital. You will not believe, Sangaji, as soon as they enter, the doctor sees him and she says, "Aap log ye hospital chale jao," which is like the best gastroenterology hospital there. तो मेरा यही था कि गुरुजी महाराज, कोई प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल में एक डॉक्टर कैसे बोल सकती है कि आप दूसरे प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल जा सकते हैं, ये सिर्फ गुरुजी करवाते हैं. Now this hospital which she directed is one of the best gastroenterology hospital which is in Hyderabad, and the best surgeon, best physician is there, Dr. Reddy. And once he landed up there, we came to know that his bilirubin had shot to 34. He was complete yellow. And that was, I remember, I think Aarti Aunty Satsang, Aarti Singh Aunty Satsang, ki her, that Guruji Maharaj's Swarup had become yellow. In the same way, with my parents' pick, I keep Maharaj's Swarup there. And every day we put, chandan ka tika, to sab jagah laga ke saaf karke fir se lagati hu. Lekin on that Swarup, after I clean, it was just yellow. So मुझे समझ नहीं आया, मैं यादा तो घिस नहीं सकती हूँ, अच्छा नहीं होता, तो आई एम लाइक जितना प्यार से मैं कर सकती हूँ वो करती थी, लेकिन वो येलोइश फेस ऑफ गुरुजी वुड नॉट गो ओनली. आई सेड मैंने क्या लगा दिया चंदन का टीका. बाद में आई रियलाइज, Guruji, you became yellow because you were taking my father's this jaundice on yourself. Jai Guruji. So I related to Aarti Auntie's satsang because this is what he did. And my father was admitted. When he was admitted on 7th floor, and 717 was the room. मेरे को कभी कोई टेंशन ही नहीं हुई क्योंकि मुझे मालूम था गुरुजी is with them. Then few days had passed. He was still critical. उनकी surgery हुई. And one day my mom is telling it's a Sunday, एक डॉक्टर आते हैं वो Hyderabad is obviously you know that all Telugu people are there. It's Andhra Pradesh. So she was surprised कि एक पंजाबी डॉक्टर आते हैं. You know, he's fair, he's tall, and he's talking in ठेठ Punjabi. And he comes and he talks to her and he's telling my dad in Punjabi ke, why are you lying down here? Get up and go. My Punjabi is not good, so I not narrate, but you know, please like, you know, translate in Punjabi that he's telling him, you know, get up from here. What are you doing lying down here? You're perfectly okay. You go get up, go home. So my mom is asking him a few questions, कि ये ऐसे क्यों वैसे क्यों, like he's telling her everything, whatever. And then he goes out. Suddenly she remembers कि मुझे ये भी पूछना है. So she runs out and she's looking for that doctor to ask. So then she goes to the nurse. She's like, वो ना मैं एक डॉक्टर यहाँ पे थे तो मैंने ये पूछना था अभी उनसे. तो the sister's like, which doctor? She's like, नहीं एक पंजाबी डॉक्टर आए थे लंबे से फेयर से पंजाबी हो रहे थे. शी सिंह यहाँ पे कोई पंजाबी डॉक्टर नहीं है और संडे को तो कोई डॉक्टर राउंड पे आता ही नहीं है. तो जय गुरुजी, I knew that it was Maharaj himself who had come to see my dad, and I'm sure bless him. But what happened was after his discharge, unfortunately कुछ गलत medicine देने से my father became very bad. His blood sugar dropped severely. You can say like, you know, it became like 20. So Indian terms, I'm telling you, it was like critical low, like that. It was like a touch and go. And it is pandemic. तो वो जब जैसे ही वो लोग उनको उठा के ICU के सामने लेके गए, nobody is ready to take him in. कि कोई उनको अंदर ही नहीं लेके जा रहा है कि नहीं पहले हम वो पैंडेमिक में वो कोविड टेस्ट करेंगे, ये करेंगे. एंड ही इज अबाउट टू गो लाइक दैट. तो पता नहीं क्यों like the doctor who's in charge, I never message him. I knew his number, but you know, I'm a doctor, I know to keep messaging a doctor is not good. वो trouble हो जाते हैं, उनके इतने काम होते हैं. But that was the only one day Guruji told me to message. तो मैंने उनको message लिखा, sir, I don't want to trouble you, but my father is outside. He's very critical and nobody is letting him in. And all I did was I took Guruji Maharaj's Swaroop, which is my locket, and I put it in with the message, and I just kept on doing mantra jap. Within seconds, they will say, because my sister said within seconds, his manager came running and he took him directly and put him in ICU. मीन्स ये कौन कर सकता है गुरुजी के अलावा. जो जहाँ पे एंट्री नहीं दे रहे थे वो उनका मैनेजर खुद आके उनको लेके गया और आईसीयू में एडमिट कर दिया. And it was a very difficult journey. He was in ICU, his hands were tied, he was in the worst of care, means state, but he was in the best of care because he was under Guruji Maharaj's care. And but his state is his karma, जो हम लोगों को सबको काटनी पड़ती है, वो 10% तो हम सबको लेना है ना, तो वो तो we cannot help that. And again he was transferred to 7th floor, room 707 this time. And when I used to see on video के वो ये 7th है, ये मुझे मालूम था कि Guruji is with him. Anyways, my father, so even during pandemic when they started special flights, I said कि कुछ भी हो जाए, as a daughter I must try and make it and you know see how my dad is doing. So I left from here through a special chartered flights which were flying. I was like, I think I and another woman, we were the only females. Anyways, Guruji, once we landed, they said, "No, you are. There is forced quarantine 1 week in a hotel. You have to do that. That was the rule at that time. They take your passport at the airport and they tell you have to do quarantine there and for 1 week." तो वहां पे पहुंचते ही उन्होंने मेरा पासपोर्ट ले लिया और they transferred you from a bus from there to the hotel. And believe me, Sangat ji, that whole bus was filled with all men and all the luggage all over the place. And I was like, Guruji, ये क्या मेरे साथ कर रहे हो, ये कौन सा मेरे को वो, you know, you're making me go through some experience which I never thought I would go, like during pandemic. And I landed up at that hotel for the quarantine. Believe me, Sangat ji, for a woman who's a doctor, who's a mother, who has a lot of responsibilities, that 1 week was like heaven and bliss. I do shukrana for that quarantine also, because So I would be, getting my breakfast, lunch, dinner, and doing satsang day and night alone in the room. It was so peaceful, so blissful. Even your bad things, you say shukrana because they were so good. Like, it was so nice for me. It was like such a nice break for me. And the minute I was out of quarantine, when I went to the hospital, like, I was every day in touch with them. That next day only, doctor came and he said, today we are discharging your dad and you can take him home. See, Guruji sent me there. He made me have a relaxing 1 week, and then he made me go there to just take my dad home, like that. So, like, and I remember those people from the hospital bought a bouquet for him, and he was holding the bouquet, and I was like, Shukrana Maharaj, Shukrana, Anantam Shukrana. And once we reached home, I said कि अब तो शुक्राना सत्संग बनता है. And हमारी प्लानिंग कभी नहीं होती है सत्संग के लिए. So it was like a third. I said third को हम लोग सत्संग करेंगे Thursday. So पूरा उनका जो भी दरबार मॉम एंड डैड का सब साफ सूफ करके सब किया. Suddenly I can hear Guruji saying कि third को नहीं, means 7th को करना है, Monday को करना है, third को नहीं. So I told my mom कि अभी means obviously we would have just called family like my sister, her in-laws and all that. So I said लेकिन third को नहीं, गुरुजी ने बोला 7th को करना है, Monday को. So please don't keep anything on third. 7th को ही हम लोग बोलेंगे और लंगर बनाएंगे. अब I didn't know, but really on third evening, my father became sick once more. His again blood pressure and sugar and everything became unstable, and we had to rush him back to the hospital. तो ये कौन जानता था? ये सिर्फ गुरुजी जानते थे. But when he gives you the messages, you just take them. It's him telling you. We have to be receptive to his messages, I feel. That's all. And that can only happen, if ये I don't know, ये आंटी मेरे को मालूम है, मैं बहुत सुनती हूँ उषा भाटी आंटी के प्लेलिस्ट में, तिर घर वैसो हर जन प्यारे सदगुरु तुमरे काज सवारे. Like thir, you have to keep yourself still. When you keep yourself still, you will hear him. But if your mind is not still, you will not hear. So this is where your meditation and etc. comes in handy, which is so difficult to do. But even if you can just sit for quietly for 5 minutes and just think of Guruji Maharaj, believe me, you will hear him, you will understand him. And I'm not one of those people who gets dream darshan and all that. वो भी गुरुजी की इच्छा है, because हर एक को उनके अलग अलग वेज हैं कनेक्शन के एंड दिखाने के. तो but Guruji, he brought my father back the next day only, and on 7th unki kripa se we could keep a shukrana satsang, which was so beautiful. And though he could not, like, he was very sick, we made him sit for 5-10 minutes at least, so that he could have chai prasad with us, and then again he went to lie down. But this is all shukrana to Guruji, all shukrana that he saved his life. Thank you so much, Guruji. I don't have words to say shukrana to you. You are everything, Guruji Maharaj. You are everything. And he is taking care of जब भी अब, like, suppose we are like as mothers and wives and whatever, we will always say कि please take care of my husband, my children, my family, my this. But Guruji बोलते हैं कि हमेशा बस सरबत दा भला का अरदास करो. Always do Guruji सबका भला करो, because when we do सरबत का भला का अरदास, उसमें सब अपने भी आ जाते हैं. So this is one thing which he has, slowly we are on the way to learn things. And another beautiful thing which happened, like, now post pandemic, when you get you come with and connect with Guruji, eventually your spiritual journey also starts. You're just starting off. If you're following everything and you're understanding that you have to just unke raza mein razi rehna hai, and just to try to mano whatever, don't put your I and me and this and that, just keep trying to follow whatever he's telling you, then he starts your beautiful spiritual journey. So one auntie was there, is here, and Guruji was telling me कि उसके घर जाके सत्संग कर, I mean, and it's very silly sometimes when you have to tell somebody, but I told that I love that auntie, so I was like, auntie, Guruji is telling me time and time again कि आपके घर में सत्संग करना है. like we tried ke, you know, 4-5 sangat aa jaye, but wo bhi nahi ho paya. So I told her, see, I don't care about anybody, I want to come because Guruji is telling me again and again that I have to come, just both of us together will sit. She said, okay, you come. So when I entered her, you know, the where her दरबार एंड एवरीथिंग, उनके पूरे जो उन्होंने कमरे में वो जो दरबार सेटअप किया है, all the masters are there, all of them, you know, the one we see, we read an autobiography of a yogi which I had never read, वो सारे मास्टर्स के स्वरूप आंटी ने लगाए हुए हैं. एंड व्हेन आई एंटर्ड शी इंट्रोड्यूस्ड मी टू एवरीवन, this is Babaji, this is Lahari Masya ji, this is, you know, each master I was introduced to. And that night she gave me autobiography of a yogi to read, and I think a spiritual journey world, you know, like it started off, and it started with that. But you know, every moment he's when you start, he will keep giving you another book to read, which will increase, you know, your will to read more and go more into spirituality. And when you go into that, you understand more about life also. तो इतना गुरुजी ने, and thanks to Shilpi aunty and the whole, you know, Ekta aunty who managed the reading of the books. When they do that, your interest comes कि नहीं गुरुजी आप कुछ तो बता रहे हैं. तो you know, the laws of the spirit world and this many lives, many masters, ye sari books, you know, they started coming in front of me ki, you know, I must read this, I must read it. It's a beautiful journey. And Sangaji, I will recommend everybody to read these books if you can, if Guruji permits you, because it's not possible if I want to read it or you want to read it. When his wish and will is there, he will make you read it. And with this beautiful spiritual journey which Guruji is taking us on, and praying to him कि महाराज हमेशा अपने चरण शरण में रखना, कभी इस stupid लड़की को अपने से दूर मत करना, forgive me my sins, forgive everyone their sins, मेहर करना, बख्श देना, सॉरी कि हम इतने गंदे हैं, हमको अपने मीन्स मैं धूल भी नहीं बनना चाहती हूँ कि आपके पैरों को ना लग जाए. एक चाहे पेटल बना के अपने चरणों के नीचे रखना, और जैसे आप क्रश करना चाहते हो क्रश कर देना, क्योंकि जब आप क्रश करोगे तभी हम लोग के अंदर की जो वो जो फ्रेग्रेंस है निकलेगी. तो शुक्राना, शुक्राना गुरुजी महाराज, शुक्राना सुरेश अंकल, शुक्राना टू द होल टीम ऑफ शुक्राना गुरुजी महाराज ऑफ फेसबुक मल्टीलिंगुअल ग्रुप. शुक्राना, शुक्राना अनंतम, शुक्राना सुरेश अंकल, यू आर देयर. जय गुरुजी, जय गुरुजी,
जय गुरुजी. पूजा आंटी, Guru Parivar witness a blissful divine journey of yours with Guruji Maharaj. Really mesmerizing. No words. Very beautiful journey you have shared. Before we conclude, I will be requesting Gauri Tyagi aunty to please say some words. Over to you, Gauri Tyagi aunty.
Jai Guruji. Pooja, you are blessed. That's why I always say कि कोई पुरानी संगत कोई नई संगत नहीं होती. नई संगत के पास भी बहुत powerful सत्संग होता है, and they are very well connected. And you are doing great seva every night. Hosting a satsang is not a joke. And you are working also. So Guruji ने आपको बहुत अच्छी सेवा दी है और आप बहुत अच्छे से निभा रहे हो उसको. That is a great thing. You should be willing to do seva. Then Guruji will help you. कैसे होगा करो, तो गुरुजी बोलेंगे जाओ छोड़ो, मैं किसी और से करवा लूंगा. तो जो भी सेवा मिले आप एक्सेप्ट करो, and through you Guruji works. So you have understood everything at very early age and at a very early stage. So what else to say, Pooja? You are like my daughter, you know very well. Every step Pooja मेरी help करती है Zoom पे ना, every day. क्योंकि मेरे बच्चों के टाइमिंग्स ऐसे, मिल्की कैन नॉट हेल्प मी. कुवैत में 12, सिंगापुर में 12 बजे होते हैं. सिल्की इज इन मीटिंग्स. सो पूजा इज माय थर्ड डॉटर. तो गुरुजी हमेशा पूजा को पूजा इज माय सेवियर, यू नो. जहां भी मेरे को प्रॉब्लम होती पूजा कम्स टू सेव मी. जय गुरुजी. पूजा, यू आर ब्लेस्ड रियली.
थैंक यू आंटी, थैंक यू.
जय गुरुजी.
जय गुरुजी, शुक्राना.
जय गुरुजी. Thank you, Gauri aunty, for your lovely words for and best wishes for Pooja. Jai Guruji. With this, I'll be requesting Nimesh Shankar, please. Jai Guruji.
जी अंकल। जी अब हम शुक्राना शब्द सुनेंगे और फिर आज्ञा लेंगे।
मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है, मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है। तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है। तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। ना मिलती अगर दी हुई दात तेरी, तो क्या थी जमाने में औकात मेरी। तुम्ही ने तो जीने के काबिल किया है। तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है। मुझे है सहारा तेरी बंदगी का, है जिस पर गुजारा मेरी जिंदगी का। मिला मुझको जो कुछ तुम्ही से मिला है। तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है। किया कुछ न मैंने, शर्मसार हूँ मैं। तेरी रहमतों का तलबगार हूँ मैं। दिया कुछ नहीं बस लिया ही लिया है। तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है। मिला मुझको जो कुछ बदौलत तुम्हारी, मेरा कुछ नहीं सब है दौलत तुम्हारी। उसे क्या कमी जो तेरा हो लिया है। तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है। मेरा ही नहीं तू सभी का है दाता। तू ही सबको देता, तू ही है खिलाता। तेरा ही दिया मैंने खाया पिया है। तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है। तेरा शुक्रिया है, तेरा शुक्रिया है। मुझे तुमने दाता बहुत कुछ दिया है।
संगत जी वो आज के लिए आज्ञा लेंगे।
जय गुरु जी। शुक्राना
जय
गुरु
गुरु
जी।
जी, शुक्राना
सबसे
गुरु
बहुत बहुत शुक्राना मेरे गुरु महाराज।
जय गुरु जी, शुक्राना गुरु जी, बहुत बहुत
पर
शुक्राना
मेहर
गुरु
करो
जी।
गुरु।
शुक्राना गुरु
पर
जी।
मेहर। जय गुरु जी।
जय
शुक्राना
गुरु
गुरु
जी।
जी।
क्षमा करना बख्श
शुक्राना
दो
गुरु
गुरु
जी।
जी।
आज्ञा गुरु जी।
जय गुरु जी।